Classroom organization is one of my favorite things to talk about, and honestly, one of my favorite things to do. There's just something about finding a system that works for you that just makes my little heart happy. In this video, I'm sharing some time-proven organizational tips, plus a few new tips that I am using this year to organize my classroom. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Rachel Vincent, and I love sharing ways to help teachers simplify their classrooms and their teaching. So the number one thing that I think that has helped me keep an organized classroom is if it fits in a bin or drawer, it goes in a bin or drawer. Even if that means putting a bin or something to hold my little pile of random stuff, it keeps it contained from wandering all over my desk or my small group table. It just keeps everything contained and organized, which goes along with my second tip, which is contain the littles. Anything little you have is going to just clutter a space. I don't know about you, but for some reason throughout the day, I collect little tiny things, whether it's something I've taken from a student because they were playing with it, or a student gave me something random. I just have these little piles of things floating around my desk. So I find a place to put it, to contain those little things so they're not all over the place. Another great way to make sure you not only have an organized classroom, but keep an organized classroom is keep it where you use it. I used to keep my extra pencils in a cabinet over by the cubbies, but our pencil sharpener is over by our back counter. So what I did was I moved all of our extra pencils and put them into the cabinet next to the pencil sharpener. And now when it's time to restock our pencils, they're right there, and I don't have to go around and try to find it or remember that I kept it in a different cabinet. It is right there by the pencil sharpener. So keeping an organized classroom is more than just making it look cute and organized, but honestly, it's what organization does is really makes cleaning up so much easier. And ultimately, at the end of the day, after you have taught all day long, things are everywhere. You want to be able to put things away to tidy up quickly so that you can either go home or do some of the other more pressing matters. One great tip to make sure that you can tidy up quickly: don't make it easy to find, make it easy to put away. So often when people are organizing, we think we need to make it easy to find, labels, all that stuff. And while that stuff is great, making it easy to put away is even better. One thing that makes putting away all of the remotes that I have to my LED lights, my Promethean board, my clicker that I use during presentations, my doorbell that I use for transitions, I have a little simple container that sits on my desk, and I collect the remotes that have, as we know, traveled throughout the classroom, plop them in that little box, plop them in that little container, and I know exactly where they are for the next day. Another thing that sometimes gets tricky when organizing is you have an organized space, you've got all the system going, and then you get something new and you're not exactly sure where it goes. So I don't know if you're like me, it just sits out waiting for me to figure out where to put it. When you get those new items, one thing to help make the process a little bit quicker about figuring out where it goes is to decide, does it need to go with its family or does it need to go with its coworkers? Here's what I mean by that. So let's say you get a brand new pack of Post-it notes and you are trying to decide where you're going to put them. If it goes with its family, if you want to keep it with its family, it's going to be with other Post-it notes, other notepads, other paper, wherever you may have that contained, that's where it's going to go. Or is it going to go with its coworkers? Coworkers are who do you use that item with? Does it need to go by your desk, by your computer, with your pens, other items that you're going to be using that Post-it note with? Another example of that is maybe you are getting a new curriculum and you're not exactly sure where your teacher editions are going to go, all the different resources that come with a new curriculum. Is it going to go with its family? Do you have a shelf of curriculum that you're going to put the new curriculum with? Or is it going to go with its coworkers? Are you going to put it in the subject drawer it goes with? Or does it go with your graded papers because it's an answer key? Or does it go near the front of the classroom where you're going to be using it to teach? So deciding if it goes with its family or its coworkers makes figuring out where those new items go. The number one piece of advice I could give for having an organized classroom is to find your system. I can tell you my systems all day long, and I have a few that I'm going to share with you that you can try, but if they don't work for you, it is not your system and you want to try something else. The only system that is going to work for you is the one we actually work on and the one we use. Finding your system is important. Watching organizational videos, things like that will help you figure out what system is going to work for you. I am constantly tweaking my systems and trying new systems because, again, I enjoy organization and it makes me happy. And so finding new ways to do things makes me happy, but it also, I have realized, it saves me so much time when things are organized. I can find them quickly and I can put them away quickly. So I've already created several organizational videos of systems that I use regularly. I have just a teacher organizational hacks, student organization, paperwork organization. I will link all those videos below. But I have used a few new systems this year and last year that I want to share with you. The first system I started using last year and am continuing to use because it worked so well is this small file system on top of my desk. I always found myself with lots of papers that I needed daily and weekly readily at my fingertips, just sort of floating around my desk and my small group table. So I created this filing system that really helped. It keeps my own version of my gradebook. It keeps student work that they did not finish that I don't want them holding on to, that I want to hold on to myself. It keeps work that if a student is pulled out for a class and they need to finish it later, or absent work, I keep in here as well. And it keeps my weekly to-do list right on the front so that I know exactly what I should be working on each day during my planning time so I can get as much done as possible. My teacher notebook has really been the bread and butter for the last few years. I keep all my student information there. I keep test data. When we go to data meetings, they give us stacks and stacks of our data for our students, and I need it in a place where I can find it quickly when I need to reference it, when I need to make different groupings. So I keep it all in my teacher notebook. I have a whole video all about just my teacher notebook that I will link below for you to watch if you're interested in organizing that area. Student supplies, I started this last year and it worked wonderfully. I did it with just some gallon-sized Ziploc bags. This past summer, I invested in the plastic zipper pouches that you can find on Amazon. I'll link these below. They work wonderfully. This system has helped so much with students not going through the supplies so quickly. Of course, you have certain students who go through their supplies no matter what, but it's only like 2 or 3 students and everybody else still has plenty of supplies by the end of the year. And it's just a really great way to not have to constantly be running out of glue and pencils and all of those supplies that seem to just grow legs and walk away. This next system is not necessarily an organizational system, but a sort of cleaning, tidying up system that again goes with that organizational component of making it easy to put away. And so I have table captains this year, and they are responsible at the end of the day for making sure their table is clean and ready to go. I have these little dust pans for them to sweep up any areas. This also works great during the day for any kind of spill, whether it's pencil shavings or snack spill. But I also have a way for them to wipe down their tables every day so they're not getting dirty. They're responsible for making sure their table containers are neat and organized. I've sort of created the system to pass that sort of organizational cleaning up, tidying up onto the students so each table is taken care of and we don't have a hot mess in our room at the end of every day. I will link all of my organizational labels and resources that are in my TBD store down below in the description, plus all the other videos I mentioned. But if you want to check out the most popular video on my YouTube channel, yes, an organizational video, it will give you even more ideas to have an organized classroom.